Hey guys, how's it going? Let's talk about The Last Son. While most people are watching Christmas movies, I've been going through a Western phase recently, and I ended up watching the trailer to The Last Son. This is a 2021 film. It's referred to as an American action drama film. It's more of a Western, in my opinion. Directed by Tim Sutton and written by Greg Johnson, starring Heather Graham, Thomas Jane, Sam Worthington, and the well-known musician Machine Gun Kelly. But before we get to the actual movie itself, because this is a 2021 film, this is not a review. This, of course, is a British fan's retrospective thoughts and opinions on this film. I'll keep this spoiler free, although there's probably no point in keeping this spoiler free. I am going to keep this spoiler free. The Last Son is a on demand and in select theatres film. It is a poor adaptation of Red Dead Redemption, and I'll talk about that later in this retrospective. But I have a little bit more info for you guys before I get to that. This film also stars Emily Marie Palmer, and the reason I'm telling you that is because she actually plays a reasonable role in this film to the actual plot of the actual film itself. This was not exactly a film that I would recommend. It's a film that you will have to have a lot of patience to watch, and that's why I'm telling you that so early in this retrospective. To give you some more info on this movie, Sam Worthington stars as Isaac LeMay, a murderous outlaw who learns he is cursed by a prophecy. One of his children will kill him. To prevent this, he hunts down each of his estranged children, including his long-lost son, Cal, with bounty hunters and Sheriff Solomon on his tail. LeMay must find a way to stop his children and end the curse. Elsewhere, I seen a synopsis that says an outlaw attempts to end his evil family line, thus confirming that this may not be the best reviewed or the most liked film out there going forward. I personally myself watched it. As I said, it was watchable for me. Wasn't great. It was a film that you would watch maybe on a Sunday afternoon when you've got absolutely nothing else to do whatsoever. The overall feedback that I've got on this film is that it is quite negative towards this film, and although I do kind of pride myself on being somebody who doesn't use other people's opinions, this time I will, because I can't avoid it, because I agree with a lot of what people are saying. Some of the editing in this film was incredibly poor. It just didn't flow well. The actors were of a reasonable level. There were some good actors in this film that you'll recognise from other series and other films, etc. There was also an appearance from, like I said, Machine Gun Kelly, that I will say he did reasonably well in this. Obviously, he's not going to attempt to make himself look too bad in the film. You could tell that they played this up. The only thing in this film that I can give you, that I will say that this film had, and I shouldn't have probably left this late, but I did hint on this earlier on in my intro to this film, and I'm sure it's not the first time that something like this has been seen on film or on television. But I couldn't help but notice that there was a scene that I'm not going to tell you which character was involved in that scene, but it showed something that reminded me immediately of a feature from the video game Red Dead Redemption. You will know immediately if you watch this film, when you see this scene, what I am talking about. There's just a way of surviving in Red Dead Redemption. It showed you something like that. Immediately, it came to my mind. So yeah, overall, one of the biggest positives for this film is that it gave me a reminder of Red Dead Redemption, and then made me actually want to play on Red Dead Redemption, well, Red Dead Redemption 2, because Red Dead Redemption, the series, is one of the biggest and best video game series out there, made by the same producers of, or developers, should I say, of Grand Theft Auto. So you have to understand, guys, for somebody who likes playing on video games, who posts clips on YouTube of playing video games, this is the kind of film that I should want to watch, because it relates to the video games that I play on and the video games that I like. In my opinion, this would be like a film that was set in a war setting, and it featured a map from Call of Duty, because some of the maps in Call of Duty games are actually based on real places and real locations. Imagine it features part of the map and things that are happening that are almost a parody of Call of Duty. And it's like the most amazing thing that you've ever seen if you are a fan of, say, Black Ops 1. But this is in the worst film. You'd be quite annoyed, and you would be, guys. And that's kind of how I feel with this film. It's not unwatchable, like I said earlier on. It does feature reasonably good acting, but some of the production in this film is just awful. It's just unexplainable for me. Like I said, there was scenes that were zooming out, and then you wouldn't even know what the actual resolution of the outcome, of the scene was. It would just jump to another scene, and there's so much gruesome gunplay, point blank kills, straight out and out murders, over the top, just accentuated and exaggerated acts of just insanity, that it doesn't really mesh well. Now, obviously, this, like I said, is quite a depiction of, or it's a poor depiction of what would have happened in maybe in the Western times. But, thinking of it now, some of the things that were happening in this film were, once again, very much like what would happen in a video game like a Red Dead Redemption, where you just go off the chain and you get to do what you want, and there's no consequences to that, apart from maybe some other person who can play the game if you're playing online, or one of the characters or sheriffs or whatever can come along and stop you. But this is not about Red Dead Redemption, although, as I've said, that's the best thing that I can actually say that this film makes me think of, or the most positive thing that this film makes me think of. I'm not going to even reach the 10-minute mark in this retrospective here. I'm definitely going to stop this in the next 40 seconds. But I do want to wind this down and say, if you've got nothing to do and you just need a film to watch, yes, watch this film. But this is going to be by far the worst film rated on my channel so far. I can guarantee you that. And I am only going to rate this film a 5 out of 10. Not good. I am not going to recommend it anything 5 or below. Come on, let's be honest, guys. I'm not going to recommend that to you guys. Although at this point, I would say you can watch whatever you want. It's your choice, guys. If you like Western films, there's certainly things in this film that you would like. Please like, share, subscribe. And of course, stay tuned for more.